France, we're going to go north of the border now with our story up in Scotland, and the Rugby League season is coming to an end up there, Karl.
Yeah, Edinburgh Eagles are going to be taking on Glasgow in the Scottish final, so we managed to capture an exclusive interview, and here it is.
Okay, we're going to head north of the border now, and we're going to speak to Mikey Mair of Edinburgh Eagles ahead of the Scottish final. Hello, Mikey.
Hi, how are you getting on?
Yeah, good, thanks. Just start us off. I mean, how excited are you ahead of this final? What does it mean to you?
I think myself, the whole club's buzzing. You know, there was a bit of a transition period from last year to this year, and the whole league kind of going through a bit of transition period. So to go 3 from 3 for the first 3, and then we had a lot of injuries and like people on holiday that we kind of like. We lost our last game, but everybody's buzzing to get back into the final. We've been training well, and it looks like it'll be full numbers at training again this Wednesday. But it just seems to be a good buzz about the club in general, which is pleasing because I came in as obviously playing, but like stepped up to helping out with the coaching as well. So to do that and see the positive smiley faces on all the guys is great.
Mikey, how's this season overall gone this year? I'm sort of talking Scottish Rugby League in a broad sense. Have you had many full games and many cancellations? You know, any new teams crop up this year?
Well, we've had a couple of teams drop out. Unfortunately, Aberdeen there was a few issues, so they didn't put a team in this year. But they're usually a strong team, so hopefully they can get things sorted behind the scenes and enter the league next year. Fife never made an appearance again. There was rumours that they were going to come back on the scene along with Strathmore, but that didn't happen. It's only been three clubs this year, but it's been very competitive. Glasgow were the whipping boys the last couple of years, and they've been very competitive and deserved a place in the final this year. But in terms of growing the game, this season's been it's been good for the whole of Scottish Rugby League and everybody watching as well. So hopefully next year it'll grow a bit more and it'll grow arms and legs after that.
Mikey, I'm just wondering, who in your team do you think really deserves to appear in this final? Who's been a standout player and deserves a little bit of recognition?
I think the consistent guys that have been training week in, week out and being available for games. Guy that I managed to persuade to come and play again this year was Big Johnny. He's came in, he's gave 100%, wears his heart on his sleeve, and he trains week in, week out. So for me, he's been a standout. But equally, the whole group of lads, everybody that's been asked to pull on a shirt has stepped up. We've trained well. So probably, apart from Johnny, I think everybody else is probably about the same. You know, I wouldn't say that anybody's head and shoulders above everybody else. We all deserve our chance. So it'll be a very competitive selection. So there'll be a few disappointed lads out there, but equally everybody that's fixed will step up and do a job.
And Mikey, what's the history of the cup final in Scotland? I know you're defending champions, aren't you? Have you predominantly been one of the strongest sides in Scotland for a couple of years? Yeah,
well, I started playing with the Eagles in 2018, and we've never lost the title. We've dominated Scottish Rugby League since then, and we had a few years out of the league because we wanted to go a little bit further. So we played in the North East England League for a few seasons, where we won the grand final down there, which was tremendous to win a league title, but a league title south of the border. And we're trying to grow the club. I think if COVID never hit, the plan was to hopefully grow Edinburgh to become maybe an NCL side after competing quite competitively in the North East League. But I think COVID was a real setback for a lot of clubs, north and south, because I know the North East League now is in tatters and probably less competitive than the Scottish League now. So we rejoined up in the Scottish League, and it started to grow again, which was a great decision for the club to do.
Mikey, I just wonder how much geography plays a part in this final. Is there rivalry between the two big cities there in Scotland, or is it not really a factor?
I think it is. The two games that we played were very, I wouldn't say heated, but very competitive, and there's always that niggle between East versus West, Edinburgh, Glasgow. Regardless of sports, it's having the whole bragging right to Scotland. You've obviously got football clubs through here like Hibs and Hearts, and then Rangers, Celtic through the West. There's always that niggle between the supporters and the clubs, and I would probably say in the same way with rugby as well. So yeah, it's going to be, I think it'll be quite a fiery clash. Everybody seems to be up for it on both sides, so hopefully it's an exciting game for the spectators as well. We're definitely up for it, and I know through speaking to some lads through in the Glasgow camp, they're equally up for it and excited. So yeah, it's been a bit of banter back and forward, but all in good jest.
Yeah, Mikey, it's been great to hear about Scottish Rugby League. I wish you the best luck, and Glasgow, I wish you both the best of luck this weekend in the Scottish final. Appreciate you taking the time out and coming on and speaking to us, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Mikey.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Okay, really good. He speaks well, doesn't he? He speaks really well, not just for his own team, but for the whole of Scottish Rugby League. So good to see Edinburgh Eagles back in the league up there. What do you take from that call?
Just like any area outside the heartlands, that, like you've said, people want the sport to grow, and it's not just about their individual side. So I took that away from the interview. He's shouting out all the Scottish rugby, and although they don't have many teams there, it's good to hear that we do have a league, and it's stronger than the North East League as well.
Yeah, that was quite interesting for me. I love the idea of the Glasgow-Edinburgh rivalry playing a part, yes. And I'm sure you can feel that on the pitch. Interestingly, we're looking at doing a tour up to Scotland, yourself and I, and interviewing not only the lads from Edinburgh Eagles, but also Martin Gill and others from Edinburgh Giants. Now, that's all to be confirmed, but that's what we're pushing for. There's a few logistical things to go, but we really want to get north of the border and share some rugby league stories from up there in Scotland.
Yeah, the wheelchair division is doing really well, and they've had all sorts going on up there since the inception of Edinburgh Giants. They had like a north versus south tournament take place this year. They've had a strong Scottish wheelchair side, so looking forward to getting into that part of Scottish Rugby League as well, and find out many more stories.
And Martin Gill, of course, the reigning guest of the year.
Yeah, we're going to get him to choose this year's guest of the year. How's it work?
We need to do one of those TikTok videos where he's got the trophy and then he throws it off the camera and it goes to the next person or something like that.
Fair enough.
What could possibly go wrong?
I'll get into a bit more local rugby then. So the Midlands division has concluded the league table, and we've come to an end, and we've got to the playoffs, and a little bit of a damp ending. There was a couple of games that were cancelled this weekend, which was a shame because it kind of determined the playoffs without the fixtures actually taking place. I think the Swinton and Coventry game didn't take place, and Leamington v Sherwood didn't take place. And those teams were all vying positions based on points difference. So it is a little bit of a shame. But we have got the semi-finals confirmed. So you've got Telford Raiders at home. They've finished joint top, I believe, with Nottingham. They'll be playing Sherwood Wolfhunt. Cracker. It's going to be a great game, that was. Yeah, I'm hoping I can get to that one. And then Nottingham Outlaws will be taking on Birmingham Bulldogs. Again, two great sides. I still can't call this league this year.
No,
it's going to be a great end to the year.
Yeah, and there's been a few ups and downs. Like Telford got off to a bit of a wobbly start. Sherwood, have lost at least one game where I'm thinking, I didn't expect that at all. So it's going to be an interesting finish. From what you could kind of predict as like the big four in that league there. Real tough time of the year as well, as some of the union players start leeching back to their union clubs. So absolutely anything to play for here.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to see who comes out on top. And then we've got a full calendar after that as well. So the representative games will be taking place after that. I know the Midlands and the South, they're all sort of coaching squads are starting to look at players for their squads for this year, and then it's going to be the Harry Jepson final. It's going to be taking place same day as the SCL final again, I believe. So yeah, it's a full calendar to happen even after the finals. Great stuff.
And of course, we're hoping to get to the SCL final and
the Harry Jepson.
And the Harry Jepson this year as well. So yeah, really exciting.